Give it a minute to connect. Hi, hello, happy Monday. Welcome back to episode 15 of 20 Questions With. Today's special guest is going to be Vicious Precious of the band Pretty Addicted. And for those of you that don't know me, my name is Erin Micklow. I host a show on YouTube where I interview bands, cover their live sets, and do festival recaps. So let's bring her on. Oh no, oh no. Oops.
Hey,
Oh my god, I turned my camera around. That's a new trick. Shit. Hi, how are you?
it's fabulous. It's been a while. How have you been?
I'll be honest. I've been having a week. But I'm happy to see you.
Me too. It's nice to see your hair like that, even though I love the Liberty spikes. You look pretty.
Thank you. You do too. I was going to spike my hair today, and then I got up and I was like, I just don't fucking feel like it.
Well, I'm not even wearing a bra, so YOLO.
Good for you, girl. Good for you.
Thank you for having me on. I know that I flaked last time. I didn't mean to. Thank you for having me here and for taking the time out to fit me in your busy ass schedule. Really appreciate it.
No, I mean, I think in this quarantine, everyone goes through it, and we're continuing life, and there's tragedy still. Like I'm going through it with like a lot of my friends, and just the tragedies that they're going through of deaths and things like that. And it's like, in this time where we can't connect with each other like that, all you can do is like take a sit,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've had the days too, and it's like we all are going through it.
It's like you touched on it with the questions that we're going to talk about, but it's mental health at the moment is like a big thing in the forefront because everyone is like isolated and they've lost like normality, and no one knows what to do with themselves, and no one knows how long it's going to last. I think that's one of the things. It's like, is it a year or what? And that's yeah.
And like trying to be understanding of that, like just the stresses lately. Like in the past week, good God, I have just been getting dragged through the fucking dirt on the internet. And I'm like, peoples, I know we're sad, but can you not take it out on me today? Okay, thanks.
No, I've got to give everyone who's listening, that might be listening because I brought them here and they don't know Erin that well. Let me tell you something. This girl works her fucking ass off for the music industry. I saw her at Rebellion Festival, like working constantly, day in, day out. She always managed to look beautiful when she was doing it, but she interviewed so many bands and did so many things, and she gets this rep of, I don't even know what this rep bullshit is, people that say, and they say that you seem standoffish. The girl is busy. If you go up to someone that's busy all day long and you're giving her shit for not saying hi, maybe she's just having a bad moment. Give the girl a break. Like, you're really kind and attentive to people, and I want people to know that. So yeah.
Oh, thank you. The standoffish comment is something I've been getting more so from UK people.
Yeah.
And it's like, y'all, I don't know who's gonna come up and punch me in the fucking face right now, because that shit has happened. So standoffish. Is this person coming because they like me, or because they're gonna fucking hit me right now?
Yeah. Or are they going to pretend they like me and then like make fun of me later and get information? Or it's fucking, the bigger that you get up the chain of whatever industry you're in, the more like good and bad comes your way, I guess. So yeah.
Well, I'm standoffish. I'm like, who are you? Like, come up to me and be warm and fucking friendly, and then I'll be warm and friendly back. But when you come up to me and I'm like, am I about to get hurt right now or hugged?
Do you get a lot more from men or women drama like that?
Both.
Both. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not like a feminism thing or anything. But
anyway, enough with the bullshit. Let's jump into our questions. So for everyone out there that maybe isn't familiar with your music, can you describe your sound?
Yes. Okay, so I call it dance punk, but it's not really one thing, but I call it that because people like to put names on stuff, and I consider it like dance music with a punk attitude. I don't think that I'm like anybody else. I think that I offer something unique, unique perspective on music. I struggle sometimes where to fit in, because I feel like I'm too heavy for the electronic industry, and then I'm too dancey for like the heavy industry. So I know we're going to touch on that later, but in terms of genre, I'd say it's electronic, but a live show is different to the sound on the CD. So it's more electronic on the CD and it's more like instruments and heavy in the live show. That is one thing I did want to say to you, actually. So essentially, I'm a one-woman show. I write everything myself. I have live members that in the band that play for live shows. So essentially, I've got no instruments in the house because I'm waiting on a couple. So I'm going to be just singing for you later without instruments. I hope that's okay.
Yeah,
Um,
I think it's amazing, for any artist to just give your musical talents in this time,
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I appreciate. It's a bit of a touchy subject with mine. It's like, oh, so it's got no instruments at the moment, but my voice is my instrument. I hope that's enough for people. Like I say though, I write everything myself, and it's very much my look and my sound is very much intertwined. It's very like cartoony and gotta say I'm a lifelong spooky kid, so that kind of genre, you know what I mean? But I preferred the old Manson stuff at the beginning when it was a bit more like punkish and experimental and yeah, so basically crossover music, electronic and punk attitude. That's essentially it.
That's awesome. And then I saw, so some of your musical influences, obviously The Prodigy, love them. You mentioned early Manson, but what are some of your other musical influences?
I do have to definitely touch on Prodigy and Manson quickly because they're both shaped who I am as a musician and they both helped me create that sound. And for me, Keith Flint was the punkest cunt that ever lived, despite the sound not being. Can I say that? Sorry.
Yeah.
Can I?
We swear here. We swear all the time. We swear drugs. We do all this shit.
Some Americans don't like the word cunt, so I tend to watch it around.
I started using that word more after Animal from Anti-Nowhere League taught me it. When I interviewed him, he's like, no, you got to say it with like behind it.
And it's also a term of affection as well. You know, you can say, oh, I love you, you cunt. Like, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful word. Yeah, so Prodigy and Manson have to be mentioned just in terms of like how they've shaped me. But I really love trance music, metal music, goth music, lots of different. I've got The Cure on the same arm up here, so big Cure fan, and everything that is written by an interesting and creative person. I don't like mediocre, middle of the road bullshit that's written by someone else. You know, I like musicians that write their own stuff and that it means something. If it means something, I don't care what genre it is. I'll listen. I'll give it a time of day. You know. So yeah.
Did you ever get to see The Prodigy live?
I did. I actually stood because our mutual friends Horror was supporting them on a tour here, and I went to see them both, and I managed to get in front, and I was in the front stage, and Keith was like right there, and I'm honoured that I stood there. I also saw them at Creamfields Festival and Download. So what I loved about that it was that you got a metal festival that they're headlining, and then you got like a dance festival that they're headlining, and that was why they're so versatile and cool because they could do that and no one was like that's weird, and there's very few bands that can fucking do that. And shout out to Horror. If anyone hasn't actually fucking listened to their music, they're another crossover band. They're really sick. And Mindless Self-Indulgence comes to mind as well. Do you remember that band?
I don't know that one actually.
They're like somewhere between they're more in the goth scene, but they were like punk rap rave. I think that's how they described it. And it was this kind of, I like when music crosses over each other, you know, make something interesting. But yeah, everything, honestly, every influence from everywhere.
Awesome. I never got to see The Prodigy, but I remember the day that Keith passed away. I was in New Orleans for Mardi Gras. It was like Mardi Gras day, and I just remember like crying my eyes out and then putting like lots of doing my makeup. I was like, I was so crying. I put my makeup on.
Honestly, I cried for 3 fucking weeks. My dad had to pull me off the floor. Like, it sounds like, I didn't know him, and someone might be like, why are you getting so attached? But they shape who we are as people. Like, I loved them since I was like 6, and I never get to meet him and tell him what he meant to me, and you never get to give that back. So I think that's what's devastating. But hey, I have to give a shout out to Pizza Tramp as well because I've got you. If people want to go and listen to a really cool punk band, they're the best. They just are. Their songs are like 20 seconds long and they're amazing.
I interviewed them at Rebellion and like I just keep, good God, I just keep getting behind. I still have a fuck ton of interviews from Rebellion that I need to cut together and get out, and then this show started as me just fucking
Yeah.
off, and then it kind of really went, and I'm just like,
Yeah,
Jesus
fuck yeah.
fucking
Fuck
Christ.
yeah. Well, good for you. And do you know what? Now you've got a year off, even though it's horrible. Rebellion's not till next year. You can spend a year getting it all together.
No, I was actually, as sad as it is, I was really, really grateful because I'm like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. The stuff that's going on in my personal life, I'm like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
Oh, they're wicked good. People in the comments are saying about it. Yeah, honestly, go check them out. And they're such a good live show. They're everything you want from a live show. Their energy, their drugs, sex, and rock and roll. You know, just everything.
Oh my God. Their interview with them, they're fucking funny because the UK people are very open about drugs.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They're
But
like,
you know, I wouldn't know about that. Very. But you know what? In Rebellion, I couldn't find any. No one had any all weekend. I was like, where am I?
Really?
So I never.
I had talked to some friends and they're like, oh man, I've been up for like 3 days on speed. I mean, I don't. For like Rebellion, the most I do at Rebellion is drinks, and not even too many because I was working so much. But the work keeps me behaved.
Yeah, exactly. And you got to keep looking demure.
Well, yeah, and in general, like I have done the drugs, mostly just ecstasy, but you know, I try to stay away from it because we know drugs are bad. Everyone, drugs are bad.
Okay. Yeah.
They're bad, but they're fun.
That's the thing. Everything that's bad is fun, though. I've been eating myself to death in lockdown, and that's bad, but it's fun.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah.
Next question. You describe your style as clown spice. Can you talk about that? What that means?
Well, I like to look like a clown. I think things that conventionally pretty is awesome to look at, but not really my thing. So, like for example, you are a very conventionally beautiful woman, and it's awesome to look at you. But for me, I think, oh, what's pretty? I want to do the opposite. I want to look ugly, you know, like, so this is my version of beautiful, you know. And the Spice Girls were awesome. So I just wanted to be a Spice Girl. I mean, who the fuck didn't? And I think they are so punk in terms of attitude and what they did for women and against the media and all that, you know. I was having a conversation with a guy at Rebellion about the Spice Girls because he was, I don't know, he went on a tirade insulting them. I was like, what are you talking about? I was 10 and thought that women could do anything, and that's because of the Spice Girls.
Yeah, because I think we're about the same age, and that was just like our generation, you know? Like, I remember a girlfriend had a birthday party, and we all went to the movie theater to see the Spice Girls movie, and we just freaked the fuck out, you know?
What a movie. Do you know what? I watched that recently, and I just remembered how many awesome lines there were. Like what's his name? The manager that's all finicky. It's Richard something or whatever his name is in real life. He was the one that was like looking for them all in a huff, and I'm like, that he was like a great character. All his lines were really funny, and it was that whole thing, wasn't it? They were telling the story, and then it happened, and they were like, now the girls are on the bus. What are they doing on the bus? The bus is gonna jump over this story. And the aliens in the woods. Oh, it was awesome.
I remember being very confused when I watched that movie because I'm like, wait, is this real or is it like not a real story? Like I was very confused.
Yes.
The 90s. It wasn't like a Spice Girls biopic, but it kind of started like that a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
It got fucking weird.
Yeah. And at the end, they were talking to the credits like, are you still watching us? Put down. What are you doing? I like your dress. You're like, what? One second. I'm just going to grab my.
When they had the assless chaps, remember the dancers like turned around and it was like, why are their butt cheeks cut out?
Oh yeah. Sorry, I'm just picking up the vodka, the whiskey. Sorry. I'm hungry.
Evening there.
The dog.
Well, I'm into it. My favorite look of yours lately was the one with the beret. You looked beautiful and the little swirly nose thing.
Yes, clueless vibes on that one.
Yeah, well, not really. You looked like a spy.
The beret. Yes. Well, exactly. Like I kind of just clowns in general. You know, like there is only one Pennywise, the first one, Tim Curry, that kind of clown. That kind of I don't know. I mean, early Manson obviously helped that because it was that whole spooky kids, freakish, like androgynous kind of, you know, fucked up vibe. I don't know. Yeah. Plus, it keeps like the guys away because no one wants to talk to me when I look like this.
Well, so You released a new music video in March called Soul for Sale. Can you talk about making that? It was really beautifully filmed.
Thank you. It was yeah, Loki Films done that. He's awesome. Sean Hodson, he's a great guy. He does all like Sleep Token and Diet as Murders. Check him out. He's awesome. I shot that in the Peak District in Yorkshire, and it was fucking freezing. But it was the first music video that it was ever like just me in it, so I wanted it to be interesting because it was like, oh, it's just me. There's not much to go on other than me as a human. So I wanted something really aesthetically beautiful. And it kind of ended up a bit like The Ring vibes, a bit witchy and occultic, which I quite liked. But essentially I said to him, what I want is Madonna Frozen. You know that video she was in the street and she had these bats and this flowy black dress and there's the whole gothic vibe, and I was like, that's what I want.
No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah. That was good Madonna, 90s Madonna. But
I'll have to look that one up.
Yeah. If you can tell, I'm stuck in the 90s. I haven't really left.
But it was kind of, it's like, when people get stuck in an era, it's because that's the era that shaped you, and it's just like our age range,
Yeah,
like a lot of other people, like they really always look back to the 70s or the 80s, but like the 90s and the early 2000s, I mean, how old are you?
32. Yeah,
I'm 31, so it was like our generation.
Yeah, but we don't look a day over 21, obviously. Actually, I'm going to be really lame. There is a group on Facebook called A Group Where We All Pretend It's Still the 90s, and everyone should join. And the rule in there is you have to speak as though you're in the 90s. You can't talk about it as past tense. So people are in there going like, I can't wait to get home and watch Keenan and Kel. The new episode's out. Yes. And it's just wicked. And I put a post up there the other day saying, just bought my new pair of pedal pushers. Do you remember though? Fucking pedal.
They were flared.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
So you actually also have a new single that's coming out next week on June 3rd for your song called Puppet. Can you talk about what the song is about?
Yes. So actually I have another video coming out that was going to come out first, but then, and it was done by Loki Films again, a professional one that was done before lockdown, but I wanted to make my own video in lockdown. So I thought I'll release something in the meantime, and it's a perfect time to release it in lockdown because the song is about being yourself and being creative. And I think this is the perfect time for people to do that, essentially, especially with artists being inside. So it's essentially a song about like the media telling us like what we have to be successful, and that you shouldn't do that. You should do what you want to do it in your way. And like one of the lyrics is like, I'd rather die as myself than as a puppet, which I think sort of says it all. And you got to live life like your way, and you may not make it in that way, but then some people that have made it, like say in music, you then find out later on their management was like telling them what to do. They weren't happy with what was happening. They were told what to wear. All their money was taken from them. So success it's not always worth it if you do it on someone else's terms. So it's always worth it to do it on your own terms. And you can't ever not be successful if you just do what you want. That's essentially it.
Yeah, I posted this quote yesterday. I was listening to this podcast from this wellness professional that I follow, and she was saying, it was like a quote that said, in a world that's always trying to make you something else, the biggest accomplishment you can have is to truly be yourself, because it's not easy. You're constantly being pushed and pulled in different directions, even just with the criticisms of the internet.
Oh yeah, and it's twice as hard to be a woman. Like, no offense to the guys, I know that's a controversial point, but especially women in the music industry, we're often secondary citizens. We absolutely are. It's not always the case. I'm not saying it's all men, don't quote me. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's often, obviously being the queen of the castle, sometimes I walk in and they want to talk to the guy, or they ask the guy for the thing and they're like, oh, it's vicious, it's like, and it's undermining. Or sometimes they sexualize you, or sometimes they only book you because they want to fuck you. So there was a girl once, she said to me, "I want to start a band, do you have any advice?" And I said, be prepared to work twice as hard for half as much respect. That's a good point to remember when you start, because it's so much harder to be yourself, to be a woman, because it's like there's two ways to be a woman, right? You're either tomboyish, so then they can respect you, or you sexualize yourself and you admit that you are there to be sexualized. There's like no other way to be a woman. Metal is a perfect example for this, because metal is really behind on these kind of things. I'm not sure how everyone's watching is big on metal, but there's a band called Butcher Babies, and they're really cool.
Oh, they're friends of mine. I've interviewed them.
They're awesome, and
I've
they're
actually known Heidi since before they started Butcher Babies.
They're wicked. Honestly, they're so talented, and people are always just talking about what they're wearing, and no one's ever talking about the fucking music. And their last album was awesome, and no one was saying anything about that. They're like, who let these sluts in metal? This one girl was on fucking Playgirl or whatever. Like, what has that got to do with the fucking song? Like, if you don't like the song because you don't like the song, that's fair enough. But if you don't like it because they're singing it, because you're threatened by the way they are appearing, that's just bullshit. Like, that's not a valid opinion at all.
Well, early Butcher Babies, like, I literally saw them play in a tiny dive bar when they like had first started, because Heidi was coming out of her other band that had ended, and like they were doing a Wendy O. Williams vibe, or with the the panties and like just the nipple tape, and that was their look when they started. And it got people, I think that they were smart. I think it got people to look at them, and then when people were looking, they showed how fucking talented they were.
And their live show is awesome. I mean, they're so in your face. They get down with the crowd. I don't like the phrase tomboys, because it implies that they're like men, which is not true at all. But they're one of you. They're there to have a good time. And they're fucking good vocalists. Like, they're a good band in general, but the two of them together are particularly good vocally. And it's great. I mean, why can't women be hot and be talented? Like, what the fuck has it got to do with it anyway? Like, come on.
They just want to put you in a box, and they want you to be one or the other. I mean, all women go through it. Like, this is a conversation that I have repeatedly with women, and I see it too. I've been interviewing bands now for almost 3 fucking years, and I still get shit. And I've had drunk men artists come up to me and be like, "You don't know anything about music," and it's like, do you know how many fucking bands I've interviewed? There's almost 300 fucking videos on my channel. Get the fuck out of my face.
Yeah. Oh, but they can see your cleavage, so it's completely irrelevant. Like,
yeah, it's like, oh, also because I put 3 hours into getting camera ready instead of just rolling out of bed and looking like a pile of diarrhea. Cool.
It's always the really like thrown out guys that say it as well. You're like, okay, what have you ever written, done? When was the last time you put a fucking comb through your hair, if you've got any? Like, fuck off. It's always some twat. It's just really, I've got to say that actually there was, if 100 people say something nice but one says something horrible, you're going to obsess over the horrible thing, right? That's chicken human nature. And when you first put up a thing saying you're going to have me here, there were like 3 guys that commented like, she's not even punk. And I was like, yeah, on Facebook. And I got a few people commented saying like, what the fuck is punk? It's like the least punk thing in the world to tell someone what punk is. Like, what the fuck
I get it all the time that I'm not punk. It's fine.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of my face.
If those guys are watching, hi. Fuck you, I'm here.
Well, and while my channel is primarily punk, like I just like to showcase artists that I'm like, I just like this artist.
Yeah.
And it's like, because I fucking said so, and it's my show, and I can do what I want, and I can have on whoever the fuck I want, because I'm not going to follow an umbrella that it has to be a punk band.
Fuck yeah. No, and do you know, it's always good to show different things as well, because for me, there's nothing worse than, and I'm not saying anything about punk or music in general. I'm not saying they're all the same, but there's nothing worse than seeing the same thing over and over again. You have to mix it up a little bit. I was actually talking about this the other day, about how I feel like promoters put bands that all sound the same on the lineup because they think it works, but then that's when people go, oh, skip the first 2 because they're all kind of the same. But if you give like 3 bands and they're all slightly different, the same show, it means that you have to go and see all those bands. You get something different from each one. They're not all sounding like the fucking same, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, and that was it. When we met at Rebellion, you know, I just getting to know you a little bit, and then like seeing your aesthetic, I was like, oh, this girl's cool. You know, I'm into it. It's cool.
Yeah. You were awesome. We had so much fun. I was such a drunk twat. I woke up the next day, like her impression of me is that I'm a chatterbox and I'm a drunk. And then I thought about it. I was like, well, that's just English, isn't it? Oh, I did have such a fangirl moment though, because we were talking to that guy, the drummer from Mastodon, and I was like, I called my friend.
Oh no. Shit. Fuck. Disconnect it and reconnect. God, this is the thing that just drives me the most crazy about these live streams. All right, hold on. Oh no. Okay, she left the room. But let's see if she comes back here in a minute. She will be back. Yes. There's an error. Vish down. Yeah. Oh, you guys, these live streams lately, this is the thing that just bugs the shit out of me the most, because I can't do anything about it. I have no control over that. Lockdown technologies. Say hello from Brazil. Hey. Well, shit. While we wait for her, should I just bring one of you guys on to entertain, to fill the void? Because she's not back. All right, yeah, I'll bring one of you guys on. Here we go. We're connecting.
I need to go.
I hear somebody, but I don't see anybody. It says it's still connecting. You failed, Erin. Thanks. Thanks for the words of encouragement. Appreciate that. God. Okay, this connection's not working, so we're gonna cancel that one. Well, oh hey, she's back. Hey girl. All right, let me add you again. Oh, I see her boyfriend's in here saying your internet shit. Hi!
Our internet is fucking shit. I'm so sorry. That was probably me.
No, it's fine. It's just like, you know, the frustration that a lot of musicians are having in this time of like, oh, I don't have my band, I don't have my full thing. That's how I feel, like not having that control of like proper gear to do these fucking interviews, you know, because it is like a collaborative thing. Whereas like with my other segment, Last Rockers TV, the artist steps on and all they have to do is like show up, you know?
Yeah. Can I ask you what your favorite band is?
It keeps changing. Like I don't know how to have a favorite, but like lately I've been listening to a lot of like female rappers like Cardi B and Sweet.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Because I've just found like a lot of strength and power in it with a lot of struggles I've been going through like in my personal life.
Oh my God, yeah. Do you know, I could send you some names. Honey Cocaine, fucking Nicki Minaj. I mean, yeah. Nicki's my girl. Nicki's my girl. I hate that Nicki and Cardi fight, and not to make this too long, but I'm waiting for the day they make up and make a song, because that's gonna be sick. Oh,
I didn't know they fight, but Cardi's funny.
They hate each other. They like throw shoes at each other and stuff.
That's not nice. So anyway, let's get back into our question.
Yeah.
I did see that you bought a keyboard in this quarantine. Is that a new instrument for you?
Yes. Essentially, I go to the studio and I write everything there on the producer's keyboard. and I don't really have a lot of stuff here. So I was like, fuck this, I'm in lockdown. I'm just going to spend my rent money on mics and keyboards. And I really did. I bought 2 mics. I bought one for I'm going to start a podcast, and I bought a live one. And then I've got a keyboard that my brother recommended. He said it's the best one. So it's due to arrive the next couple of days so that I can just like play something for my songs. And there's a few sample pads on it. So yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be experimental. And the podcast thing I'm excited about. I've seen a few artists do it and they said it's quite therapeutic. Because I guess it's just like kind of more just talking, isn't it? Just shooting the shit. And I'll probably do that about like mental health stuff. I've been going through it. I know kind of everyone is as well. I really need to read these comments. What? Sorry. Do you ever read the comments when you're doing video or not?
Well, so where I'm seated, I'm too fucking far away, so I can't see them. I can't read them. I'm too far away.
To be honest, I mean, I'm not even sure what any of them mean anyways. You're not missing out much.
Well,
but yeah.
Watching that is nice and saying good things. We appreciate you. And everybody that's trolling and saying mean things, if anybody is, that's not appreciated. Don't do that.
No. No, but my boyfriend has a bass guitar and he's learning. He's in the learning stages. So he learned a couple of my songs, bless him. But he wasn't strong enough to come on and do some.
So you actually talk a lot openly about, like, you know, speaking of this, mental health and like loving yourself. Can you elaborate like on what that personally means to you?
Yeah, I thought actually a lot and hard about how to answer this because you can go down a tangent. So I'm trying to keep it sort of succinct. Essentially, it's about realizing exactly who you are and just fucking accepting it. Like for all your flaws, but also your good things, because we all point out what we do wrong, but no one ever says, you know, I'm a loyal friend, I'm a kind person, I'm generous, I'm passionate. These are all quality things that you would see in other people and think that was cool. So why wouldn't you turn that inwardly on yourself? And you know, that quote you said earlier, there's a similar one, I think, Joan Jett, I don't want to misquote, but someone said the most revolutionary thing to do is love yourself, isn't it? You know, and people are threatened by people that love themselves, but they've been through such a long journey. Life is so fucking short. I mean, look at people like Keith, you know, Chester Bennington, Chris Cornell. Not everyone can do it. It's hard to get through it every day. It means that you're a survivor, and you just have to pat yourself on the back and say, dude, you got here again. Like, all your bullshit, you're awesome. Because fuck, you know, we do this thing once. Who knows what there is after? This is it. I wasted all my 20s thinking I was fat, and every picture I look at myself, I wasn't fat. And you're like, the fuck was I wasting my time for? It's just, you know, I didn't wear outfits because I thought I looked gross, and now I wish I could fit in those outfits. It's just, it's all bullshit. You know, you're fucking great, and be the best you that you can be, and own it, and be powerful, and that's it. You know, there is nothing, no one's going to love you like you love yourself, and it's powerful. So
and it's I mean, it's not an easy thing to love yourself. It is a journey. And I do want to say, like, a really good way to love yourself is to be able to be strong enough to set the boundaries to not allow toxic people and their negativity in your life, because it's hard to love yourself when you have people pushing against you in that way.
It doesn't matter. It's not about feeling guilty about letting someone go. They could be your family members or your partner. Sometimes your strength is not going to be made better by that person. Sometimes it's just the kindest thing to do is just to let them go. I'm not making like too much sense today because I am hungover, but I'm trying my best to be inspiring and passionate. But last night I was sick in my bed, in my hands. My boyfriend, bless him, held my head back, and he's got me 8 hours slowly to pull myself together enough to do this today. So shout out to him. He's awesome. But honestly, it's you know what, I think it's all common knowledge with all my music. I don't speak to my mum. She like abandoned me, and I've forgiven myself over time. I just don't need her. It's not sad anymore. It's not all the things that it was before. It's just like she's just not there now, and that's fine. I can still be amazing without that parental, you know, thing. And you can be without anybody and be on your own and still fucking win, you know, and that's life is winning every fucking day.
Yeah.
Look at him. It was a pleasure. It wasn't a pleasure. There are two, I swear this is so gross, but there are 2 jugs upstairs filled with Red Six that I still have to dispose of. So
What the fuck were you drinking that it was red?
Cherryade.
I don't even know what that is, but it sounds like it would make you throw up. Yeah.
You don't know what Cherryade is? Oh, that's crazy. It's a bit like the fruity Four Loko shit, you know, but without the alcohol. Four Loko is crazy. When I first went to America, I've got friends in Texas, and I always go to Texas. And whenever I go there, they get me Four Loko, and they call it crack in a can. It's fucking crazy. And we were doing shots of it. I was like, yeah, I'm British. I'm fine. I can do loads of shots of it. Next thing you know. Oh God.
Now,
and you know what?
In the early 2000s, before Four Loko, I was having this talk with a girlfriend the other day. There was an energy drink that was alcoholic that we would all drink. I remember drinking it in high school. It was called Sparks, and it was orange, and it would make your tongue orange.
Fucking hell. I mean, what were we thinking? Do you remember MD-40? Was it MD-20? Whatever the fuck it was called.
MD-20. I remember, like, a girlfriend and I, when we were like 17, God, I don't know what the fuck we were thinking. Like, we went around to like several grocery stores in a day, and I was the driver, and she's like a bottle of alcohol through every
Fucking hell. Oh, good.
I look back on some of the things of my youth, and I was like, what in the fuck was I thinking? Like,
how am I not dead? Yeah.
Because in America, you can't drink legally until you're 21. So it was like, fuck, man, how are we going to get alcohol? We were like 16 or 17.
And that's the thing in America, because you can't drink till you're 21. You think, if I'm going to drink, I'm going to really drink, because it's got to be worth it if I get caught by my parents. You know?
I just remember she stole like bottles of that MG-20 shit. Like, she was putting them down her pants.
Good times. Oh, cheers to that. Cheers to that.
Okay, well, we're about halfway through our questions now, so I want to ask, will you play us a couple songs? Will you sing us a couple songs?
I will. I've got 2 choices for you here. I was going to sing you a new song that hasn't come out, or do you want me to sing something that everybody knows?
Whatever you're comfortable with.
Okay. Turn my mic on. Let me take a big swig. Right. Okay. I'm gonna sing the new one, Tones and Whiskey. That's gonna come out end of July. And it's a sexy song, so it's gonna be weird saying the lyrics without music behind me, but fuck it.
Everything's weird right now, so it's okay.
Okay. I've made a friend with the void, but it's a physical touch, a human that I crave. Before a thing is destroyed, let's fall in love and get lost in all the misbehave. Though the night was enjoyed, I want you to take my hand and we can find the way out. All I want is a drink and not a lover to come round and fuck my brains out. All I want is someone to sit with me and partake in Tones and Whiskey. All I want is someone to sit with me and partake in Tones and Whiskey. All I want is someone to sit with me and partake in Tones and Whiskey. All I want is someone to sit with me and partake in Tones and Whiskey. Sex me till my body is right. Sex me till my body is right. Oh, sex me till my body is right. And play me a love song. That's a bit of that one.
It's so different hearing your music stripped down like that, because for everyone that hasn't heard her music on the recordings, there's like a lot of synthesizers and it's really dancey, like you said.
Yeah, well, originally was gonna do like it with a backing track, and I was like, oh, do you know what? Like, I might as well just do it stripped down, because then people can get kind of, I don't know. I've been toying with the idea of doing a live show, but all stripped back. And And I went on like the groups I've got on Facebook, and I was like, what do you guys think about that? Like, I feel like I've got the page and then the group. I know you're going to ask me about that, but the group is like a place where there's like less people, but I sort of, they're real fans. And if you ask their opinion, they'll tell you the truth.
Yeah.
And I said, like, what do you guys think? And they all thought it was really cool. And I was like, fuck it. Like, plus it's harder to.
Oh no. Oh no, I hope it comes back. I think you're coming back. Shit. And we're buffering again. No! Not again. Oh wait, you're back. You're back. You're back.
Changed it from Wi-Fi to mobile data. I was like, please work. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know what you heard, but I'm actually going to do like a live show with everything stripped back, because it's hard to actually scream in lockdown because I've got neighbors, and I can't do it like, so I've actually warned them that I'm going to do this, but check. 6 feet till my body is right while you're blaming a love song! It's not going to fly, is it?
Well, and like a lot of the artists from the UK that I've done these live stream interviews with, like, y'all get, like, people's neighbors get like pissed over there. Like, over here, no, nobody gives a fuck. Like, I mean, like, people will care, but you know.
Well, I told my neighbors the other day, I said, I'm going to do like a live gig at some point, and I will tell you in advance. But what you don't want is to be doing a live video and then you get doof, 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 doof at the fucking door mid fucking show, you know? So, your neighbors listen to your music whether they like it or not. It's true, they actually do. That was a comment that was just there. I do actually want to mention the fact that you've got that tip thing up, which is awesome. I did actually write mine, but I have no room. If anyone wanted to be so kind, I'm just going to show you once and then hide it, if that's all right with you, Erin.
Let me, hold on. So is it PayPal?
Yeah.
Is it, okay, let me pin that in the comment. Hold on.
Okay.
dasvicious@hotmail.com.
Exactly. It's a hard time. I've just told you I spent all my bank money on instruments. It does add to the acoustic, why not? Can we see Erin's tip card? It's there the whole time, Paul. It's right in the background. Shout out to all the crackheads in the group. Yay!
To dasvicious@hotmail. PayPal. Hold on, I'm pinning this comment real quick.
Appreciate it, Erin. Yeah, no, it's hard for everyone. Please, I've seen a few judgments. Please, guys, don't judge if artists say donations or tips are welcome, because honestly, like, we've all lost out on gigs. I meant to do a whole tour, I had to cancel. Obviously, I was getting paid for those shows. We're all struggling, so we're not cunts just because we are. We're just struggling.
No, I mean, you know what? Like, it's also providing the entertainment. I mean,
yeah.
I think it's like a lot of people personally, like, I don't take offense to it. If people want to tip me, that's great. But like, honestly, I still don't even really get tips. But I'm just like, fuck it, I'll just keep this sign here anyway. But I think people think like, oh, well, what is she doing? She's not doing anything. It's like, there's a lot that goes into the shows.
Absolutely, and you give people like me who are trying to go on the way up, you know, a fucking platform. You have genuine respect for music, which not a lot of people do. Like, a lot of interviewers just want to meet people; they don't really care about the passion behind it, and you clearly do, and that's a big thing. And you're a one woman show. You're like, honestly, I get it. You are though. I'm the same. Like, my friend Nikki at Devolution magazine, you know Devolution magazine. She runs all that shit. Like, she's got Gary and that helping her out, but you know, she works her fucking ass off for that. And so I really appreciate like powerful women who don't, you know, who go and earn their kingdom. Do you know what I mean? So fuck yeah.
Thank you. I was having a chat the other last night with my friend, and I was like, you know, I am so down for paying your dues and working for free, but with working for free means like, it doesn't mean that my living expenses stop. So it's like, that just means I have to split my time, and because I don't make any money from doing these shows, it means I can't do them as often because I need to go do paid work to pay my bills and take care of a little doggy.
that's well, my cat's looking at me the whole time. I'm gonna have to bring her on in a second, but that's one thing that people don't realize is that most musicians that I know, myself included, and most people in the entertainment industry, all have day jobs that they have to do, just to pay the roof over their head. This is not like a glamorous in terms of lucrative.
Yeah.
You do get experiences that no one else gets, and that is something no money can buy. But does music pay my bills? Absolutely fucking not. It pays for itself, and that's it. You're like me though, in terms of you like to push the merch as well, because you're not just saying give me money for nothing. You like to push your line and things like that, and it's because they can wear it, and it's something that they can have. I'm big on that. Like there's a few people that just want to hand me stuff at gigs. I'm like, no, get a t-shirt. And there's this one guy's like, I've got everything you've got times 2. I'll just get another one then. It's like, I'm not just gonna take your money. It's not gonna happen. But it's a weird one, isn't it? 'Cause it's like Patreon as well. You feel like there's a begging stigma to it. But why are artists the only people, and by artists I mean all entertainment industry people, that they expected to work for free? You wouldn't call a plumber around and expect him to fix your sink for free. Why is and I'm expected to be on top of my game when I do a show, because there'll be negative talk if she was shit, but I've got to be good, but it's not valued financially. It's I could go off on tangents.
I think that's where like in my personal journey of just starting to know your own value and your own worth. And like a lot of that too, that confidence for me has been coming from the female rappers I listen to. Like I'll just laugh sometimes at their songs because they're always talking about diamonds, and I'm just like, it just makes me laugh because it's so far removed from my personal views. But it's like, okay, sis, I hear you.
Exactly. Well, what was that Dolly Parton thing? Dolly said it costs a lot of money to look this cheap. I love that fucking quote. You can't just, this is my boyfriend's t-shirt because we were running around it. I was like, I have to look good. I'm in pajamas. Motorhead, that'll do.
Well, so speaking of your boyfriend, I actually saw that you guys, you met on the set of your music video. Can you talk about how it happened?
Yeah, I'm going to be trying less gay as possible because it's a really gay story. So essentially, the song Tones and Whiskey that I just sang, that was going to come out late July. The song is about, it's so sad. It's about, for me, I'm not very good at like casual sex. I just get too emotionally attached, so I don't do it. I'm very much like a penguin, mating for life kind of thing. It's a bit sad and not what people think of me at all. But the song is about, in a world of like promiscuity and poly people, no judgment. I'm just saying it's not my thing. I feel like someone like me who just wants love is like never gonna get what they want kind of thing. And I've always said that my favorite thing to do is listen to Deftones and drink whiskey and fuck. So that's why I called it Tones and Whiskey, because I wanted that's my point of the song. So essentially I put up a status on Facebook saying, looking for a conventionally handsome man with no facial hair to do, because that's my type, to do the thing is, and everyone was like, I'll shave my beard, I'll do it for you. It got a bit sad actually. But then a gay friend of mine said he would do it. So I kind of ignored the message. I thought it's just easier to snog a gay guy. There's nothing's going to happen. And then like 2 days before the shoot was happening, he cancels on me saying, I can't do it. And I was like, what the fuck am I going to do? It's like really integral to the storyline to have a guy there. So I went back over that thread, and the only attractive one was Lewis. And I messaged him and I was like, this is really weird, but if I paid for your train, would you come and like simulate sex with me in 2 days on camera? and he was like, what does it entail? And I was like, well, let's have a phone conversation because it's really awkward. And I call this guy and I'm like, yes, I've got to be like the love of your life. And you've got to really love me, and you've got to like pretend to fuck me. It was such a strange conversation. And he was like, yeah, sure, fine. And I was like, okay. And then he had to get like a 5 a.m. coach or something because it was cheaper. And I was like, I'm not rolling in money. You can get a coach. So he got a coach, and he got to the shoot and he was late. So I was in a mood. But when I'm working, I'm very much in business mind, gig day or anything like that. So I wasn't having time to chat. I was directing it as well. So I was like, I need you to, and very much our scene was very business. I was like, I want you to throw me up against this wall and just like ravage me. But I've got to be like the one love of your life. I was like, this is how I care about love. It's not fleeting, it's serious. It's a really deep conversation. And yeah, and then like 2 minutes before our scene, he's like, by the way, I've got two tongue rings. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I was like, oh dude, do you want to come out with us? Me and my friends are going to corporation. Went up to this club, we got fucking high, and then he like never left my house and we like fell in love. It's so ridiculous. Like,
I guess,
yeah.
I mean, that's like, but you hear that a lot with like actors on sets of movies and stuff too, because that wall has already been broken where you've already been
Yeah.
for work, and then it's like, oh.
What I get from people all the time when I date guys are like, you're too much, you come on too strong, you're too emotional. But I'd already had all those awkward conversations where I'm like, I'm looking for love and it's got to be like it or nothing. So he knew what he was getting himself into, this crazy high maintenance woman that just wants love, true love.
So for everyone out there watching, take notes. This is how to get a boyfriend.
Strategically planned. It did, and yeah, no, he's moving. Well, he moved in with me because of the lockdown, but we're moving into another place here in the city, like later in the year, and that's it now. He's stuck with me. He's got no chance.
Oh, God, I love it. I love it.
On the set though, I was paying him no attention because I was directing everybody else, and everyone else had like sexy scenes, and I was getting up close, going, no, I want you to look sexy from this angle and do this, and I didn't pay much attention. But apparently, according to like the 30 people that were upstairs, they were all talking about how we're meant to be and we just don't know it. Yeah, and I was like, what? I didn't. So it was everyone saw but us. It's quite cute. I mean, it's gay, isn't it? That's what I tried to. Beautiful.
No.
It's nice to be happy, let's just say, because I've been alone for a very long time.
Yeah, you deserve it. It's nice when you find somebody that treats you well and gives you the things that you need.
Hold your hair back while you're sick,
Yeah.
Plus, he's not in the music industry, so which is awesome because I hate dating in the music industry. Oof, too many cooks.
Well, so while we're on the topic of you and your boyfriend Lewis, what are some of the things that you've been loving the most about being in quarantine together?
I did ask him that, and I'm going to give his answer because it's really cute. He was like, waking up to you every day.
I would be like, shut up, you fucking liar.
What's nice is like, because I suffer majorly with depression, and I think lockdown would be much harder all on my own. I think I really would. It's nice just having a human being there to like physically touch while you have a conversation. I mean, I've been calling my friends a lot, but just to have like the snuggles and the affection is nice. Obviously I got my cat, but it's not really the same thing. So, but yeah, it's been nice. Like he works from home, so it's been nice. Like when he's working, I can just do like my stuff in the corner, and just having human contact there. It's really, yeah, it's helped with depression for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So
Imagine
on the flip side of that,
yeah, sorry.
no, I was just gonna say on the flip side of that, what has been the most annoying thing?
I also asked him that, and he was like, honestly, and I was like, yeah, and then he said nothing. I was like, he's obviously got an answer that he's not telling me. No, the truth, honestly, the hardest thing is not being able to like show him my life. Like we had this whole tour planned, and I was really excited for him to see me like live and get to see me in my element. He's like an introvert and I'm an extrovert, so to him lockdown's like not a big deal, and I'm losing my fucking mind. And he's like, you're only bored if you're a boring person. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's not even what. It's like all the extroverts in the world are crying right now. I have all these things that were cancelled, all these European trips. I wanted to like show him my friends and show him about this and that and the other. Out in my world, I'm very like eccentric person outside, and I don't really sit in the house much. So the hardest thing is like kind of just being indoors and just like, I don't know. It's gonna be weird when we step out and all of a sudden he doesn't see me because I'm everywhere. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's probably the hardest thing. I mean, I think we're all anyone who's an extrovert totally gets what I'm saying. Like it's hard not to be sociable, and
Yeah.
it's cool if it's like for a bit, but who knows how long this is gonna go on. And every time the country lets the lockdown ease, the deaths go up. So obviously the best thing to do is just fucking stay indoors if you can right now. Stay
Yeah.
indoors.
I'm a little
Um,
bit of both, an extrovert and an introvert, and so I've had my days where I'm just like, I'm so happy to be in my house, leave me alone. And then I have like,
are you an extroverted introvert or are you an introverted extrovert?
I think if I had to, I lean more towards an introvert, and maybe that's why again people think I'm standoffish because I'm like,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
it's kind of like
No, but
when I go out in public, I get overwhelmed sometimes, like
I
festivals
was
and
going to
shit.
say
I
that.
get like I'm like overwhelmed.
I was going to say that because we both suffer from panic attacks. We were talking about this. And you were saying at Rebellion, like, because I saw how much you were hassled. When people come up to you all the time, even if it's positive, eventually you just want to, like, fucking escape because you get, it's too much. Even being even being lovely to loads of people is a lot because there's this pressure then, like, if you have to remain that way. I get it
I
at
think
gigs as well.
like yeah, a lot of like thankfully I don't suffer from the panic attacks anymore because a lot of that was just coming from like a lot of the negativity that was in my life, and like removing that, I feel much healthier now.
How did you stop your panic attacks? I would love to know.
Again, having the boundaries of just like removing toxic fucking people.
So it was all triggered from specific people. Yeah.
Yeah, of like just having to be around toxic people on a regular basis, and then it's like, oh, instantly healthy when you remove
Right.
those.
Gotcha. Gotcha. That's awesome. I wish it was that easy with mine. That's cool.
Well, it wasn't easy, and it's still
No,
not
no.
easy, but I can say that when you remove that toxicity, you're not so fragile. You're able to kind of ride the waves a little easier.
Yeah. Well, you look fucking happy. That's the main thing, isn't it? I mean, you always look smiley and happy, but you look like you're enjoying your life right now. So good for you.
Yeah, I'm kind of like this. Thank you. This week is like I'm finally starting to get into a rhythm of the quarantine and get like a routine, and I'm not like getting fucking drunk every day. Like, good God, the beginning, like, girl, like I know everybody out there can relate to. Is like the beginning of this quarantine, it was like I have no purpose to not be drunk every day.
See, my thing has been I've had to cut myself off with the food because I gained a lot of weight. I'm in the losing it now. I've lost about half of it, but I was getting to the point where I was like, whatever. I'm naked and fat and sassy. Who fucking cares? Like whatever. It's quarantine. No one's gonna see. And then you're like, actually, I've got a new person to see. I don't want to go from like tiny Vish to like rolling around Veruca fucking Salt Vish. Who's the other one? Violet Beauregard. Fucking Vish. But yeah, alcohol is one of them ones where I've not been drinking every day, but because I'm a binge drinker rather than like a daily drinker. So when I drink, I'm like drinking to get drunk. So once a week, I'd say I try. I mean, I got so drunk last night, I didn't think I could manage it today, but I was like, if I'm going to sing in front of people, gotta have a bit of Dutch courage, And now it's got a bit.
Oh my God. Well, so we kind of touched on this earlier, but I wanna elaborate on that. You talk a lot about like feeling left out in the music industry. Can you talk more about what you mean by that? I mean, it is definitely a true thing. I've talked to other female artists where they feel the same.
I'm really glad you asked me this because I feel like when I talk about it myself, it looks a lot like whining, even though it's not. So it's nice to have a platform to talk about it. Essentially, because I'm not a genre, and people like to put people in genres, I feel like I don't belong anywhere. And even though that's my whole thing, there's a human need to fit in at the same time that I can't deny. I want to be myself, but also there's that, of needing to be accepted or not spat out more than I should say. So I basically don't fit in the metal scene, the punk scene, the dance scene, the goth scene, the industrial scene, the pop scene. If you name every scene, it's like, so I feel like some promoters will say, "Oh, we can't put you on this because you're too this," and then you go to that other one that they said you were too much of that, and they say, "Well, you're too this for that," and I just feel like so left out. And because people don't understand it, they dismiss it as like not valid. And being woman just makes it twice as bad. But Rebellion was awesome because I really wasn't sure how I'd go down. It was my second year playing, but the first year I was on the introducing stage. This is kind of like whatever, like everyone in that room is just kind of repping the underdog anyway. So when last year I got the bigger stage, I was like, fuck it, is no one's gonna get it. And I'm very much down the middle. Most people either really love me or really hate me. There's not a lot of like in the middle, which I love, but equally there's that threat against you that you obsess over the negative comments when you don't really want to.
Yeah.
But I genuinely feel like people go, we don't understand this. This doesn't make sense to me. So I can't categorize it. Therefore, it's bad. Or I'm just going to dismiss it. And I work just as hard as any of the artists. And in some areas, even more, because it is literally just me. Like with a band of 4 people where they all contribute financially, with music, with effort online, with social media presence. There's like a jointed effort. Whereas I do everything myself. And if I take a week off internet, there's not one mention of me because I'm the only one that does it. And I feel often undervalued. And it's like, fuck, I'm just trying to do my shit, man. Like, you don't have to like it, but at least you can respect my passion and my drive. And hey, give me a chance.
Yeah. I mean, I'm always drawn to artists where it's like, this is weird, but I'm into it. And that was how I felt about you. I was like, I see it. I see your influences. I'm like, this is fucking weird, but I'm into it. I like it.
Well, I mean, ultimately, I mean, I might look like this, but I'm an old school raver. Like my dad used to play rave music when I was a kid. He was a DJ, and I love fucking trance music, dance music, house music, all that kind of vibe because I like the beats. I like the energy. I like the way it can make you feel like drugs. You get taken away. I mean, a lot of it is for drugs, but which but then I love the energy and the attitude of punk and metal and the aggressiveness. And when I first started, it was like, what if you put the aggression vocals on the dance beats? Like, surely if they're both good, that would work. And for me, it works. But I mean, not everyone gets it. And it's fine if it was just people. It's when the industry dismisses me when it hurts. Like I sent an email to I won't name them, but I sent an email to a PR company saying, will you represent my album? Will you do the promo? And they say, we're not enthusiastic about what you're trying to do. And it broke my heart because I was like, and then another one said I'm not marketable, and another one said if I was a bit more feminine, I'd make more sense. And oh,
You know
the whole
what?
thing.
Let me give you a piece of advice with that. I've had a publicist before, and most of the fucking time, everything they're doing, you can fucking do for yourself. Sit down on your computer and start reaching out to press outlets like myself and be like, hey, and you'll get a lot of no's because publicists will get those no's too. They just don't tell you they get no's. And you'll get those fucking no's and you'll save your money. And also by getting that feedback of even the no's, it'll give you those ideas of how to tweak yourself to market yourself better.
Erin dropping that tea, spilling that tea. Fuck yeah. That's the best.
You don't need a fucking publicist. I had one, and I'll tell you what, I get myself more shit than she ever got me.
Fuck yeah.
They don't want to compare because they've got a bunch of other clients they also have to do.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And if you're not if they don't love you, you're not going to be a priority. Yeah, got it.
It's not about if they love you. It's literally are you their person that makes them the most money. Yeah. That's who gets it's literally a tier of who's gonna get your publicist, your agent, your manager's most attention. It's who makes them the most fucking money. And if you're down here, you get the least attention. And you will always work the hardest for your fucking self.
Fuck yeah. And no one cares about your art more than you do,
Yeah.
I've had about 15 band members come in and out. and some of them hurt when they left and some of them didn't, but I realized really and truly that none of them just cared about it enough. That's what it came down to. And it feels like people want you when you're further up the chain, but they don't want to do the grafting with you. It's only
Yeah.
you really that carries yourself there. So that's why from now on I decided I'm just going to have session musicians that I pay. And then there's no fucking stress, because it was the stress of putting my energy into trusting 2 or 3 different people that are gonna fucking follow through, and they don't. To get someone to share a post on Facebook is so hard. I can't even explain to you. Like, I could write a dissertation on it. Please share every band related post. Oh, but you shared it.
I can't tell, like, girl, I feel you, but you just gotta keep at it. Like, when I started my channel interviewing bands, first of all, I couldn't even get the artists that I was, like, friends with to say yes to an interview with me. And then after that, then it was like, okay, I started getting yeses. And then the next challenge was getting the artists that gave me their time for an interview to share it. And I would be, like, so baffled. I'm like, do they hate the piece? Why don't they want to share it, And I really just think it's like, then you, like you said, you climb up the ladder and you build a reputation, and then it's more desirable so that people will fucking share it.
We're all just doing our best. It doesn't take 2 seconds to share something. You can clog up your feed with all that other bullshit 5 minutes later. It's really appreciated. Anyone who shares my stuff, thank you. Honestly, it's really appreciated.
You just gotta keep at it. You're doing an awesome job. You have a great audience. You have a good presence online, and you just gotta keep at it. Don't fucking waste your money on a publicist. You'll do a better job for yourself. Fuck that they keep telling you no. You don't
advice. Honestly, I'm going to take that on board.
you don't fucking need it. Save your money and spend it on some instruments or your rent or whatever. Yeah. So, talking about your Facebook group, you call your audience, your followers, crackheads. What?
Right.
That's wrong. Why do you call them crackheads?
That's a bit like the cunt thing, where it's a term of affection. So I originally started the band with one other guy. He's still a good friend of mine. Shout out to Ben if he's there. We just didn't work together creatively, but his girlfriend was listening to our music and she's like, "You gotta be on crack to like that shit." And we were like, "That's the name, crackheads." And I've got people literally saying that my daughter's the youngest crackhead, and no one is like batting an eye about it. I just think it's cute. It's a way of saying like affection, dickhead, cute cunt, it's a very British. It's very British, and it's got nothing to do with crack. Do not do crack. I have
like
people.
That was like an early 2000s term, because I remember being in middle school, and it was like an affection. We'd be like, "You fucking crackhead," and it was just like a trashy thing to say,
I like the American one of chicken head. I like that one. She is chicken head.
I still don't really. I've heard the term chicken head, but I've never heard anybody in my circles call anybody that.
Right. Well, do you know what? For a while, I was using a lot of black talk for a while, because me and my boyfriend in lockdown decided to watch all the Flavor of Loves and I Love New York and Real Chance of Love, all that shit. We love it. And for anniversaries and stuff now, our new toast is Playbook Play. Though, what a guy. See, that's a fucking cool punk motherfucker, Flavor Flav. That guy's wicked. I would do a song with him in a second. Oh, yes.
In this lockdown, I've been binging on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and everyone hate on me as much as you want that. It's fucking entertaining, and it lifts the mood when you're having a sad day. But the phrases that they always say is, "You're being rude. You're being rude."
With that condescending, "You're being rude."
Well, that's it's a really low key. Somebody will say something, it's just like, "You're being rude." Or and then the other one is like, "Oh, that is so annoying." Everything is annoying, and it's really funny.
They're great. They are such good business women, because they're. I've always said, when you're selling a band, you're not selling the music, you're selling yourself. You are the brand, and if you're not likable or even hate worthy, you're not gonna get an audience at all. When people buy my stuff, they're like, the music is kind of secondary. They're going, "I support you because I see your passion. You've been nice to me, blah blah." And the thing is, the Kardashians, they've got such a great brand because they're like Paris Hilton in the 90s, you know, and
Well,
Nicole.
did you know that Kim Kardashian attributes her career to Paris?
Of course. And of course. I mean, The Simple Life was that was the shit. That was the fucking shit. Like, it really was.
I have one season of that on a DVD.
I have the old Sabrina box set. I literally, that was the time. TV's not worth watching anymore, but that was the shit. And do you remember The Real World? Oh, good God. Oh, good God.
I remember that one. I never got into that one as much, but I remember like watching like Meet the Barkers, which was on MTV. It was Travis Barker's reality show.
Oh my God, Moesha and Sister, all that shit. Oh my God. See, that was my shit. That was honestly. Are You Afraid of the Dark? All of that.
God, everyone's gonna hate us so much. I don't even care. Fuck it. This is what I grew up on.
Fuck it. I'm gonna do a song about the 90s. That's it now. That's it.
I miss those eras. Even when I first moved to LA, I moved to LA in 2007. And that was the era when the Playboy parties were still going. And I used to go to parties at the Playboy Mansion. And like,
Yeah.
I met some of the girls that were on The Girls Next Door, some of Hef's girlfriends. I remember seeing Paris there before. And she's fucking gorgeous in person.
I mean, she's not a real DJ though. Can we all just like that girl is
She makes
not
a fuck ton of money doing it though, girl. She makes a shit ton of money.
Yeah, you can't be mad. You can't be mad at the bag. Oh God. That's it. Be yourself.
So, what's your most irrational fear?
Baked beans. I thought about this earlier, right? It's got to be irrational, but I'm definitely like afraid of baked beans. Like the texture makes me want to be sick. Even just thinking about it now, I'm trying to suppress it. They freak me out. Why is anything like that skin? And the same with like chickpeas. Yeah, that's an irrational fear. What about yours?
I don't know. I'd have to think about it. You know, a lot of what I've been going through in the last like year is releasing a lot of fears. So I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
what I've been through is going to take a lot to scare me now.
That's it. Well, I mean, when it comes to like rational, there's a lot more because I thought about it, like my biggest fear is the dentist, and I didn't go to the dentist for years and years because I'm afraid just at the whole experience. And last year I had to have like 2 teeth pulled out, 2 root canal, and I was like, it's gotten so bad, I need to just fucking deal with it. And I went to the dentist like 6 times in like 2 weeks. I got friends to hold my hand, but the last one when they ripped a molar out of my head. I went alone and I was like, if I don't face this now, I'm going to be like 60 years old with no fucking teeth. Like, you just got to face it. And I did it and I kept the tooth and it's in my puppet video. I'm going to keep it and put it on a necklace to remind me that I can fucking overcome, you know. It's sick and twisted, but... Yeah.
Oh my God, y'all's dental over there is a lot different than ours over here.
I mean, yeah, it's... Ugh, yeah. What someone said, I hate loads of things with holes in it. Yeah, I've heard about this one, isn't it? Where things with little holes freaks people out. Like a sponge with loads of little holes. Apparently that's a fear, yeah.
I'm trying to think, do I have any irrational fears?
I mean, what might be irrational to you might be rational to me. You know, I was thinking about this earlier because I've got a massive fear that a lot of my panic attacks are based around that when I go to sleep, I'm going to die. So I can't sleep every night. I end up passing out. And Lewis was saying to me that that's irrational, but for me, that's completely irrational fear.
Yeah, that's rational. That's a rational fear. Like one rational fear of mine has always been like somebody breaking in the middle of the night and you wake up and there's someone at the foot of your bed, because that legit happened to my fucking next door neighbor.
Whoa, shit.
You know, so I always like make sure all my doors are locked and everything before I go to sleep. And I sleep, like my mom would always say that when she'd visit. She's like, why do you sleep with your bedroom door locked? And I'm like, because fucking security.
Right.
Also, it's like, Mom, I don't want you coming in. Like,
You're masturbating, leave me alone. Oh God, actually, this is so off topic, but the other day I was having sex and my cat was on the bed and I was on the bed and she wouldn't leave and she was looking at us the whole time and it was so weird. It was so weird.
girl, no, couldn't you just like take a leg and just
She was just staring, and I was like, what is she thinking?
can you get the fuck out of here? What's the matter with you? Get out of here. So talking about, I feel like I know the answer to this now from our conversation, but what is a fad or trend you really want to come back? I feel like I know.
I mean, I never left the 90s, so it's not going to come back. I never left. Like, I'm still there. It's like 1993, and I'm 5, and I'm at an underground rave. I wish, I was going to say the good drugs, because now you can't trust it. But it's the attitude of music when I was a kid. It was a lot more, I feel like we're a lot more elitist now. You've got like metal elitists and punk elitists and goth elitists and this and that. It doesn't matter what someone said gatekeeper earlier, and I like that term. Like it doesn't matter what is what. Music is awesome. Let's all just enjoy it. Doesn't matter what it is. There's this argument of like, oh, Marilyn Manson's not goth, and it's like, well, who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck what is not goth and what is goth? I mean, who gives an absolute fuck? Let's just enjoy it. Let's all just remember why we listen to it. Like, music literally saved lives. Like, I wouldn't be alive without it. It's, yeah. That's why I wish would come back. It's that peaceful fucking spirit of when it comes to music and shit in general. Like, the world is falling apart. If you hate someone, just leave them out of your mouth. That's it.
Oh, I know, girl. I had a lady just going off on me last night, and I was like, "This is putting me in a really bad mood right now." And it's like part of really loving yourself and having boundaries is protecting your peace enough to just be like, you know what? I'm just gonna block this hoe because she's upsetting me right now, and I'm gonna protect my peace here and just step away. I'm just gonna step the fuck away.
That's on my fridge. There's a piece of paper that says anything that disturbs your peace isn't worth it. It's on my fridge. It's like I put it up when I broke up with my ex-boyfriend because he was a dickhead. But it was that moment of reminding yourself what you want and just protecting your happiness. You know, because it's hard to attain and it's hard to keep. Sidebar: never put your happiness in other people. Put it in yourself.
Yeah. Well, and then that's in turn that's going to attract happy people. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, that's something Lewis said to me we first met. I was like, why are you attracted to me? And he's like, because of the way you are with other people, like your natural charisma, I think is what he said. It was like, you know, you should treat other people with kindness and respect and be a nice person to be around. I kind of pride myself on that. Like, that's the thing about the crackheads in that group. If anyone likes Pretty Addicted, like, and wants to join the group on Facebook, there's a lot more stuff in there because it's not got an algorithm. But we're all in there just like posting stuff that maybe the rest of the world doesn't understand. You know, I kind of pride myself on having oddballs as fans. You know, we're the ones that are like spat out by society. We're not conventionally attractive. We're weird. We're trans. We're gay. We're, you know, a lot of those kind of people with like mental health issues gravitate towards my stuff because obviously they can hear in my lyrics that I've also suffered and I'm suffering. And I kind of pride myself on like our army of freaks. You know, it's like a place to go and fully thrive and be in that weird thing that you are. So I think if I offer anybody anything, it's like the fucking pride flag to be flown high. You know, it's like, fuck it, who gives a shit? I don't care if they want to fuck me. I don't care if they think I'm pretty. You know what I mean? There's this, especially as a woman, you're like, you have to be desired. Like the woman debate is a whole other one that I will go, you know, I'll go into at some other point. But ultimately it's like, look, did I make myself proud today? Cool. You know? Yeah. Do I fucking last the day? Because sometimes just getting out of bed, brushing your teeth, and leaving your bedroom is a success. You know, it really is. And that's lockdown. Half the battle is just moving.
Yeah. No, for sure. I've had days like that too. And I think it's, as humans, we adapt, you know, and I feel like personally, I had the shift where all of a sudden I just woke up one day and was just like, okay, this is the new normal. This is what's my routine today. This has been my routine for the last couple of weeks. So this is now my new routine, and I have a routine now, and that was helpful.
Yeah.
of like
Oh,
just
definitely.
adapting to the new normal.
That's the thing, and I'm not a routine person. I'm like on the moment, spontaneous person. So having a routine's almost become something I've had to adapt. You know, like okay, well today I'm going to make sure I get these things done in no particular order. If I don't put too much pressure on it to try and, I've been working out in my front room and things like that because of, overeating at the beginning. It's like you've got to preserve yourself, especially if you get yourself sick. Let's say you catch this thing, your body's got to be in good shape to fight it. So you got to be kind to yourself.
For sure. So last question I wanted to ask, what on the topic of happiness and all of this, what are some of the small things that you've been doing in this lockdown to, spark joy from the day to day?
Well, I edited that video myself, and it was actually really fun. I think I'm going to do more. It's obviously not going to be the same quality as like Loki Films. He's a professional cinematographer. It's going to be like a DIY thing, which almost makes it kind of beautiful in its own way. It's fucking. I'm shot all my little dollies and whatever in a phone. But the editing process was fun, and I actually enjoyed it a lot. So it was learning that kind of new skill. I was like, I'll do this a bit more. So I'm just thinking of doing like different videos for different old songs with just different footage and just do something interesting like that. Spending time with my cat. I've got to get her. She's literally right here.
Okay, grab her. Freckles, come here, baby.
Oh, I just dropped my phone.
Come here, Freckles. Come here. Come here.
She is the best thing in the world.
Oh, she's so cute. Let me grab Freckles.
She's so over my shit. Everyone, this is Velvet. She's got a fucking Instagram, Velvet _the _precious, because she's so pretty. And I like when she goes along like that.
Oh my God, she's
Hello,
cute.
Oh. And she's got
like
a bow
pet
tie.
bow.
Fancy.
Oh my God. Ooh, Freckles, you stink. She finally has a trip to the groomers like this week. Her groomers are finally opening, but fuck, she needs it real bad.
Oh, I see animal lovers get it. Sidebar, I looked up an interesting fact. I wanted to know if cats fart. So apparently they do not. It is no. Google showed me various different things that says they do it, but it hasn't got an odor or a sound. So they do it delicately. So I do know that dogs fart, but yeah, I was like, she never farted before. So I looked it up and useless facts for the internet. Cats do not fart.
That's funny. Yeah, Freckles will she always likes to lay in bed with me, but she'll lay with her ass facing me and then she'll fucking fart. And it's like, God damn it, Freckles, it smells really bad.
She's cute. How old is she? How old is she?
She's about to be 7.
She's about to be 7. Oh, snap. She's like, Mama, stop using me for fucking entertainment purposes. Actually, I did
so bad right now.
You put a shot of her in the video. I'm so sad you couldn't do it, but I understand. So the puppet video basically is going to be loads of different people in the entertainment industry lip syncing the words for me. And right at the end, I left like 2 seconds to put a clip of Velvet in it because she's got to be in it. So she's not lip syncing, unfortunately. I couldn't get her to say it, but she's in it.
Well, that's all the questions I have. So I wanted to ask if we can close with another song.
Yes, definitely. So I'm gonna vote for. I'm gonna sing. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna sing "Choose Your Poison." And before I go, thank you for having me. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Oh, we went off on a tangent, but that's just me.
No, that's been the fun thing about these live stream interviews, and especially now, I don't know what's going on, but Instagram has just been letting me go for more than an hour. So I'm like, okay, thanks, Instagram.
Thanks to everyone for watching. And if you do like Pretty Addicted or want to check me out, please follow me in all the things, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. And yeah, I'm going to just sign you off with this. Let me just have a little sip of whiskey because it's called Choose Your Poison and Jack Daniels is my poison. There was Lemmy and now there's Vicious. Okay. Wake up in the street and with your mouth stuck to the pavement. Mess of what you've done, it makes you sick, but you haven't learned. Go to get a drink, I know you wanna be drunk some more. Do you like your drink more than you like me, baby? Do you like your drink more than you like me, baby? Hey, do you wanna come home and play and put the bottles away and be safe? 'Cause that poison don't make you well, and I know you so well like fire. When you go off, you burn, scorching me inside it dies. When your friends say the word, you're dropping both your loves like flies. So do you like your drink more than you like me, baby? Do you like your drink more than you like me, baby? Thank you.
I love it. I love the stripped down songs. They're amazing. Like, I feel you can really like hear the emotion and hear you. Like, I love the stripped down songs. You should absolutely do live streams like that.
Thank you so much. I'm going to think about it now. It's been nice to release it. And thank you so much again for giving me a platform. You're absolutely awesome. Wish you like all the best with these things.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here and for giving your time. And everyone out there, hope you enjoyed it. Please go follow her, follow Vicious Precious Official, follow her band, Pretty Addicted Band, and it's in the pinned comment right there if you want to send tips to her PayPal, because like all other artists in this time, her tours have been either canceled or postponed. So please support, even if you can't support financially, just sharing her videos, that helps. So you can check her out on YouTube as well.
Really appreciate it. Thanks again, Erin. Speak to you soon.
Thank you.
Bye, sweetheart. Bye.